audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. 3, 2, 1, go! Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
LoveLine, coast to coast.
Yep, it is LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, we'd like to welcome back to the show Tom Arnold.
Hey.
Good to see you, Tom.
Good to see you guys.
You know what? You know what I like about you, Tom? Always evolving. A real work in progress. You know, every time you see Tom, he's either kicked something or lost something.
Yeah.
Gained something?
Gained something.
Yeah, exactly.
Got out of a relationship, put down a crack pipe, dropped 40 pounds. He's on to something.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
It is nice.
You never know who's going to show up.
Exactly what I'm bringing. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
You look like you're in great shape.
Oh, I'm in fair shape. Yeah, I'm in good shape for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
solid.
Exercise, working, doing an hour and a half of cardio every day.
Every day?
Yeah, dating.
Wow.
I'm dating. You got to be in shape for that.
Oh,
You know, you got to be in shape to get the date.
Right.
Then you get her locked in.
Yeah.
Then you can gain it back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how you care about looking good for a short period of time in a relationship, and then after that, it's like you're cramping with the door open, and so, honey, I got a zit on my back. Get that paper clip and see if you can get it.
They like doing that, though. Well, half women love that, other half hate it. But the ones that like it, love it.
Yeah, they're like those monkeys that groom the other
They're
monkeys.
collectors, too.
Oh, jeez.
They'll collect the remnants.
Oh,
No.
Oh, I've seen it collected and eaten. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to say who, but I've seen it happen.
Oh, my God.
Not.
Nobody recent. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah. Women love futzing with a guy, and you know it's funny. A man wants to touch a woman sexually, but other than that, he don't want a lot of contact with her.
I'm a hugger. I
you're
like to tell. Oh, I do.
All right, but it's still almost a precursor to sex. But what I'm saying is
Or
postscript. You're not picking out any blackheads or wiping any
Not
asses.
examining.
No. They don't usually. Do they need that?
There's apparently a fair amount of maintenance that goes on with these ladies.
Is that right?
Men don't really want to be reminded of the fact that it's a biological entity they're talking about. It's a pillow. Or it's an angel.
Right.
Right. Like I like to look at women as very elaborate, sophisticated, inflatable dolls. You know what I mean? Like they really got it right this time.
Right.
But you certainly don't want to walk by the bathroom and see some tampon or something rolling around or anything like that.
Right. But you're the first guy to offer to whip it out of there if you want to get too busy.
Oh, Tom, that's not...
Hey, don't worry. I don't mind that, honey.
No, I know.
I'll get a towel. Anyway,
Yeah.
Tom's a man.
I am a man, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but what about like you, Adam?
Okay,
Exactly.
What about like when the maid comes around or something?
Well, how about the dog? That's worse. Dog running through the house. What's she got in her mouth? For God's sakes. Tom and Company.
Tom is here to promote his Disney special. Tom is here to promote a movie called Animal Factory. It's a Steve Buscemi movie who is sort of quietly slid from in front of the camera to behind it and then in front of it again. But this guy's penned some movies, directed some movies.
He directed, this is the second movie. Trees Lounge was his first.
Right.
I think he's a very talented director. He did a good job with this. It's a hard story. It's about prison, and it's Eddie Furlong and Willem Dafoe. Steve is in it. Really good performance from Mickey Rourke. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are former convicts that are in it. Eddie Bucker wrote it based on his experiences.
What makes a good director?
Danny Trejo, very good.
For you, what makes a good director?
Someone that likes to work fast and will communicate occasionally and just tells you what he wants. And, someone that does it,
But it's someone who has an idea what they want and knows how to get it out of you.
Yes, and someone that doesn't say, that was perfect, let's do it again. I hate it when that happens. But I play a prison rapist in this who tries to, prison rape is different than normal rape. I mean, prison rape is about power. So it's really like, and I try to put the moves on Eddie Furlong in it because he's a young, small guy.
And is Willem Dafoe? I've never met the man. He plays sort of psychopaths.
Right.
And I have this theory about guys who play nuts, which is sort of they are nuts. Is Willem Dafoe a little nutty?
Actually, he's a really nice, quiet guy, and all the ladies like him. I mean, that was the impression I got from being around the set, although there weren't many ladies there. But there was mostly convicts. But he's very nice, and actually, a producer, Arnold Colpison, told me, "Hey, if you see Willem, ask him if he did a movie with him, and he said that he has the biggest penis in Hollywood." So
Oh, really?
I thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to ask him that, but then I thought, well, okay, I'll ask him, and he just got a big smile on his face.
Oh
So-
man, what great news
Yeah.
to have people have that circulating. Nice. And Mickey.
But he's a great actor, number one.
Oh, he is. And Mickey Rourke, he's got to be nuts. now.
I didn't meet him,
You didn't do
but he's
scenes
good
with
at it. Mickey Rourke is actually a guy that, when he started, I think everybody agreed he was a great actor.
Yeah.
And he kind of, I think, probably took a little detour in his personal life.
Yeah, well, you're talking about, he started with Diner and the King of
New York. What was that? The Prince of
Prince of
Brooklyn? No, but the summer wind came blowing. Remember that was in it with Eric Roberts that cut off. You took my thumb, Charlie. Remember that movie? What was
Yeah,
it?
that was the King of Queens.
Whatever it was good.
The Prince of New York. Oh, for Christ's sake. What was that movie? Anderson, you know this
Yeah.
movie. This is a great movie. Early 80s.
The thumb, Eric Roberts lost his
The
he was very good in it.
Anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, here's the point. The point is Mickey Rourke started off as a legitimate actor who was doing some great projects.
Mhm.
And then he sort of segued into Jack Daniels and the Marlboro Man.
Yeah.
Or something like
Right.
that, and he started doing these sort of bizarre, almost sort of shoot 'em up spoof weirdo movies. Then he really spun out, but I guess he's starting to get back on track now.
Right, I heard he's good in Get Carter.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
So, Tom, what else you got beside this movie?
Well,
by the way?
I'm in the middle of a movie called Exit Wounds, which is a Warner Brothers movie, action movie that Andrea Bartaliak is directing. It's a guy from Poland who directed Romeo Must Die with Steven Seagal, DMX.
Aren't you? Are you going to be hosting a game show or something like that too? I can't think. Of
I'm
the name
hosting
of it.
a late night show of some sort. We're in the development stage.
Oh, it's not
Over it. We're shooting some
Who's it
different
with?
things. Columbia TriStar, Sony.
the.
Is that bad?
The
They seem nice.
But Tom, let me ask you. You're a guy. You got a lot of energy. There's
Right.
no doubt about that.
Right.
But you can find good work doing just film.
Right.
Can't
well,
you?
Some, yeah.
You seem to be pretty consistent,
Yeah.
pretty busy.
Yeah.
What about just sticking to film?
Well, I thought about that, and then I thought, I'd done 3 sitcoms that have been canceled, as you guys might know, and I just wanted to try something
Well, he
different.
did the Tom Show, Tommy, and then Thomas.
Exactly. Jackie Thomas, The Tom Show, and Tom.
Oh, that's right. I was close. All right, but here's my point: is why make it 4? Why not just
Exactly.
do? You
Well,
got.
he's going to game
I
show
want to
now.
try it. I want to try something
I
different.
know, but you got money. Right?
I'm not going to do a straight game show or anything like that.
You're good for money.
I'm
right?
okay for money. Yeah, I'm
And
okay.
and you're working. You're doing movies.
I'm probably not working as much as I'd like to.
But here's the question: will you ever work as much as you'd like to?
No, well, there was a time when I worked too much, and that's probably why it was been
and
harder.
here's the question: could you do 2 movies a year, have some free time, and sort of relax? I mean, could you do
if
that?
I could guarantee that I would have 2 good movies a year, supporting roles in good movies, and
Right.
then I would probably maybe do a little stand up. But I mean, you're a guy that's had. You got that one show, and you had that other show, and you got this show, and you got the commercials.
Yeah.
And so what's
I know.
the deal?
What am I talking about?
But you
you're-
understand. I mean,
you're
you
right,
gotta-
but I always think to myself, if I could just slide into doing a couple movies a year, I would gladly just stay home.
You think that?
Okay,
You
well maybe
think
you're
that.
right.
No, he would stay home.
Oh, would he?
He is a pain in the ass when he has to work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wor-
Thank
wor-
you
yeah.
for defending me, by the way.
Yeah,
I
work
think.
is something.
Work is hard though. It is. I'd like to get the offer, but
Right.
I don't like to do it.
Right.
Like I was glad when you guys called. That sounds great, and then it got closer and closer, and I was like,
Right.
oh my god.
Why
Even
did I
tonight,
do
I was
this?
watching the game, and I was going, okay,
You gotta
All
pry my
right.
ass off the sofa.
all right.
I know. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Jessica,
Yeah.
you're 18.
Mhm.
What's up?
I have 2 problems.
Mhm.
It's like one of them is I know when I get off during sex, but I don't hardly ever.
What'd you say?
She knows when she gets off, but she doesn't hardly ever.
I see.
Rare orgasm, right?
It's like I've only had like a couple.
And you're talking about during intercourse,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
I don't like somebody like going down on me or anything.
Yeah. Well, we'd make a good couple. Why don't you like that?
It's just I don't know. I talked to my friends about it, and they're like, "You are crazy," and I don't like it.
Is it too intense, too intimate?
No, it tickles too
Yeah,
much.
too intense. Yeah.
Tickles is sort of too intense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. What if the guy wasn't wearing as much jewelry? I mean, what if he just slowed down a little, took it easy on you?
I can't handle it.
All right, but you can have an orgasm on rare occasion when you're having intercourse.
Yeah, but it's like not that often.
Do you like to? Are you on the bottom usually?
It's like anyway.
Anyway,
Some people like to be on top, and it touches them better.
yeah, women can sort of work that area a little better when they're on top.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, but at 18, isn't it?
Still working it
aren't you
out.
still developing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so don't put so much pressure on yourself, Jessica.
Find a relationship, somebody you really care about, and you won't be so focused on that, the climax.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Well, kinda. He's like coming back from California. He don't know if he wants to move back or just.
Okay.
Thank
Here's my point. I bet it'll be easier for a guy to go down on you if you're having a good relationship with the guy.
Or you'll just, again, you won't be, you'll relax. You'll be more involved in the intimacy and some of this
Well,
physical.
I don't have sex that often.
All
Okay.
right.
Maybe you
that's
should masturbate, because that's a way. It's honestly, that's a good way to get to know yourself, know what you like. You're secure. You know you can make it happen yourself.
Well,
so then you teach the guy.
Tom, you see if you agree with me on this. Is an interesting thing about women is that they the only thing we know how to communicate with women about masturbation is using sort of terms and mechanical descriptions that are suitable to men.
Right.
And women just, it doesn't make sense to them. Could you masturbate, Jessica?
Yeah, but I really seriously don't like them.
It doesn't do anything for them.
Really?
Yeah, they just
don't do anything. For
it just
me.
does. They have to be able to connect with an emotional experience that is a sort of an intimate place in order for all that sexual material to sort of function.
Yeah. But
And
for
so
me,
for men, it's like, hey, you put it here, you do this, and it's mechanical.
Right,
Period.
right.
For women, there's a central nervous system
you know
component that's profoundly important.
Tom, what I call that intimate place where I go to masturbate for myself, I call it Earth.
Right.
I don't give a rat's ass where I'm out in the yard or at my parents' house. Doesn't matter.
But
I
that's
can get
because
one
you're
off.
older. When you get older, because when I was Jessica's age, I was too embarrassed to admit that I did that. I would say, no, my friends, we make fun of each other. Now that I'm 41, I've got a whole system. It's
Sure.
the same video, the towel, half wet, half dry, Astroglide.
Whoa, wow. Half wet, half dry.
Half
That's nice.
warm water on the one side and dry on the other, for the cleanup afterwards.
Nice.
And then you got. But I tell you what.
Whoa,
you,
Adam,
write
take
that
notes.
down.
you get lube on the remote control, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But so you got to use just the one hand. But it's a whole system, and it really works for me.
Same tape.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
Lesbian the no dicks allowed. Number 49.
Wet and dry. I'll tell you, I had a great humiliating experience, my life. I got one off the other day, yesterday, before the maid showed up, and somehow little something got on the pillow,
Oh,
basically.
how
So
dare you.
I was like, oh Christ, look at the pillow, it's all screwed up. So I go into the bathroom, I get a gym sock, I wet it down in the sink, and I start wiping the pillow down. You know?
Right.
And I'm like, now the pillow's got two big wet spots on it.
Oh, this is
Now-
more like a cat in the hat.
now
He knows
the
what's going on.
Now the maid's like heading upstairs,
Right.
and I'm in the back, and I'm like, Christ, gotta hide the pillow.
Right.
I'm paying her to come over to the house and work. So I take the pillow, and I'm thinking, I'd like the pillow to dry off, but I'm certainly not going to leave the pillow out, the two big wet spots in it. So I take the pillow and I put it in the attic. And shut the door and lock. Now, she's like, the bed is missing a pillow, but she ain't going to have any concrete evidence. And I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, I'm 36 years old, I'm hiding the pillow.
You just got to
Man.
let it happen. You know what? It's your house.
Yeah.
She'll get used to it. They know what's going on there.
This is why we love Tom, isn't it?
Jenny?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I hope you tip that maid come Christmas. I hope you tip her
I
ass
tip
good,
mine.
Tom.
She's great.
She's got the wet side and the dry side of it. Well,
Jenny.
now the dry side's a little wet, too. Jenny, wet and dry, though. That's my new
That's
thing.
a good warm on the wet, and then the dry
And
side.
the
You get
Astroglide.
everything.
Astroglide in the warm.
Astroglide is the finest personal lubricant there is.
Beautiful, beautiful. Jenny, what's up?
Okay, my boyfriend lives out of the country. We are both working on temporary assignments away from each other, and I am going to see him. I haven't seen him for a month and a half when I will see him next month. And after I booked the plane ticket, I realized that I happened to be showing up exactly the day that my period would start.
Well, we've heard already. Tom thinks that's great.
That's fine.
No
You know what? That's
problem with
fine.
Tom.
Just put a
the
towel
thing
down.
is, he is my age, and he's a freak. Like, normally I don't date younger guys, but, like, older guys, like, any way they're getting it, they're happy. But, like, younger guys have problems with this kind of stuff. And
Sure.
so-
Older guys are much more desperate.
Yeah, guys, they see the Grim Reaper sickle hanging over the bed, and they're
Exactly.
thinking, listen, if I got to pull a cork, fine, I got to get going. Time's a waste, and they see the hourglass all spilling out like in the Wizard of Oz where the witch is up on the hill, you know. All right, so he ain't going to do that.
No.
All right, but so-
we did it once, and it freaked him out too much.
Okay, so what about jarring that period, Drew?
Are you on a pill?
I am, and that's what I'm wondering.
What are
We
you
use a
taking?
condom, and also I'm infertile. I had a massive pelvic infection that lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
And Planned Parenthood didn't catch it like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of times when I went in. So finally went and saw my doctor, my mom's OB.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital, and they did surgery, and like one of my tubes isn't working, and they're not really sure if I'm dropping eggs or not, and all this kind of stuff.
So-
Yeah, you can still get pregnant though. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Right.
we use condoms, of course.
Okay. And then,
You know, he's a guy, I don't trust him. But
and you're going in 2 weeks,
no, I will be there on the 9th of November.
so in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks, and so you're just in your first week of pill now.
yeah.
Well, you could stop. You could stop for a week and then restart a packet. That's one way of doing it.
What if she didn't eat for 3 weeks?
Wouldn't work.
You sure? It's worth a try.
Why is he out of the country?
Why?
Yeah.
Because we work.
But what does he do?
Adam, you got that?
I'm going to write that down. Work.
We work for a telecom company, a large telecom company.
I see.
that does
Hey, you guys
Okay.
have a great relationship. You
I need to
you
see.
don't trust the
yeah,
guy.
out of the country. I'm kind of upset. My girlfriend has a job downtown.
Well, no, we work. Actually, we met when we were on assignment. I was on a 6-month assignment.
I see.
All right, Jenny, look, or you can skip your sugar pills.
If I just completely skip it, it'll
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Well, you can become, the lining of the uterus can become unstable, and you can have some breakthrough bleeding anyway, but you won't have your full period usually. I think if I were to do it, it's going to be all screwed up almost no matter what. Yeah, just skip your sugar pills.
Drew, how about doing what I do? You dump a little kitty litter down there. Like when transmission leaks in the driveway, it mops up whatever you got down
You
there.
can do that too, of course.
This is a guy who hasn't seen her in a month and a half,
I know.
and she's going to all this trouble for him, worrying about him.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's nice, but it's kind of absurd.
Well, there's
he's
actually
a little freaky about
There's
it.
actually a school of thought out there that women shouldn't be, that you can actually make them not bleed by giving them continuous non-cycling pills. I'm not of that school
What's
of thought.
that mean, non-cycling
In other words,
pills?
in other words, don't cycle them. Don't cycle them so they
Don't
bleed.
have the
Just-
sugar pills in there?
Just stay on steady state hormone and don't bleed at all.
What's wrong with that?
I believe it's overstimulated the lining of the uterus. You can cause overgrowths and may put you at risk for cancer. It just that bothers me a little bit.
Tom, does that bother you?
It bothers me. I think the guy should just he should just go for it. You know, it's sort of a great
He should just suck it
primal
up.
feeling to do that. You know,
Yeah.
occasionally, but it's like all of a sudden you're done and you got like war paint all over your face. You know,
Right,
it's
yeah.
like
Adam, you got that?
Yeah.
Adam's
Yeah,
a
it's
little much of a pussy
It's
about
like
that.
you're in a pie eating contest.
exactly. She's conscientious. She's nice.
Yeah, I like that. Carol,
Hi.
you're 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
I think you guys are funny, first of all, and Tom Arnold, you're hilarious, too.
Oh, thank you.
So my question is, last night I was up doing my homework and listening to the show, and all of a sudden I felt like my heart get really tense, and this has happened before, and I felt like I just couldn't move. If I did, then I'd have a heart attack right on the spot.
So you're having a panic attack.
Is that it? But I don't know why. I mean, it's happened before, and
Well, panic attacks usually start coming on. You ever had a panic attack, Tom?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Usually starts coming on
Tom
between about
has
8.
5 a week. Are you kidding me?
Usually starts coming on between about 18 and 22, and what it's certain psychological processes and genetic makeup of individuals set people up for that. But what a lot of people don't realize, a lot of the drugs that people abuse set this up too. Ecstasy absolutely will do that. Pot can do it. Speed can do it.
Pot will
Cocaine
do
can do
I
it.
was going to say Tom had done a pound or a kilo of Coke before his panic
Exactly.
attack, so that doesn't really count, does it?
Chocolate, I think, will do it to you. Honestly.
But Tom, you weren't up late studying when you had
No,
a panic
but I mean,
attack.
I've had them recently where I, start feeling, in my heart and everything, and I think, okay. But first of all, I put my shorts on because when they find my body, because always with celebrities,
Right.
they take pictures.
Nude,
And
sure.
second, I think, should I call the guard? Do I want to go to that point? Am I going
go
to
to
be
the
that
hospital.
crazy?
Yeah,
Then
right.
you start feeling like your arm is tingling. All the signs you have to put the Astroglide away. You don't want to. You even do a little cleanup because you don't want to.
Bowling pin goes.
Yeah,
Sure.
but
No,
it is scary because your mind. The thing about, to me, the panic attacks is what your mind, how far your mind can take it.
Yeah, and it goes to always, I'm going to die
Mhm.
or I'm going to go crazy. Those are the two sort of feelings that people get.
Right.
Or I'm having a heart attack, I'm having a stroke, or I'm going to go
Drew,
nuts.
is this more common in someone who's 21 than someone who's 51?
If it's going to come on, unless it's induced by drugs, it's usually starting around 18 to 22.
And can stay with you?
And it will stay with you.
All right.
But
well,
it's
you have that
controllable.
to look forward
It's
to, Carol.
controllable.
Great. I also heard somewhere that women can't have heart attacks while they're still menstruating.
It's very rare, unless you're a cigarette smoker
Oh,
or
okay.
have some congenital heart problem.
Okay, so
All right.
marijuana does play a factor in it then.
Yeah, it can trigger panic, for sure.
Okay,
All
I
right.
feel a lot better. I thought maybe it's because of your show. You guys were cracking me up so hard.
Oh, thanks.
Gasping for air, laughing at Adam's jokes.
Do you, so you do smoke pot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
am
I
I-
used to smoke daily, but now it's just like once a week, and I thought maybe
When did you drop down?
I started graduate school, and I can't concentrate anymore, and so I thought I'd just cut down.
Hey, Drew.
You got to stop, seriously.
Okay.
There's just overwhelming evidence that it has effects on your ability. It doesn't hurt cognition long term, but it can affect your ability to learn state-dependent learning.
Drew, what is a quick thing someone can do if they feel like they're starting to have a panic attack and they're just sitting at home? And what if they drank a glass of red wine? Or what if they took a warm
I always
bath?
do my will.
Or what if they did their will? Like
Well,
Tom. Is there a quick sort of fix? Lie down?
There are
You know what I
cognitive
mean?
behavioral, all kinds of behavior modification strategies, because panic is a behavior.
Right.
And it's a learned behavior. And once you learn it, man, you've got it. And it stays with you.
Mhm.
It's kind of like fear of flying, those sorts of behaviors. But, it's about affect management. It's about finding ways to calm down, to feel secure, to reassure yourself, to talk to yourself, to bring another person around who can make you feel safer, these sorts of things. Breathing deeply. If you can, exercise, if you do yoga, those sorts of things are all very helpful.
I think it's because
But-
I'm lonely.
But what if
Well,
you're
another person
spinning
around.
out?
Yeah,
I
a lot
think
of
it
people
because
get
I've never
along.
had it with somebody there.
Well, yeah.
So for you, it would be bringing somebody around.
I've been trying to do that.
But if you're just
I have
spinning,
to-
if you're
Period or
spinning,
not.
if you're spinning out
Right.
in that one moment, what would you do?
Personally,
If you were at
I've
home.
had panic attacks.
Yeah,
too.
I know, but you were standing backstage or
No,
getting
oh,
on
no,
a plane.
oh, no,
You've
no.
done it alone. You've had
Oh,
panic
yeah.
attacks alone.
Oh yes.
Really? I look at you as weak now. But go ahead. So you're alone. You have panic attacks.
I would
What
bring.
do you do?
I would get somebody near me. I would just have somebody I trusted, could rely upon.
Pick up
to
the phone.
talk. I personally, I need somebody
But
physically
I'm
present.
talking about in that 15 minutes when it's really coming on. Do you know what I'm
It's already
saying?
over at 15 minutes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Wow.
how soon can you get? Well, my friends would be laughing on the other end of the phone and telling me to blow myself if I told them to come over. I'm having a panic attack. Hey,
That might be all you need.
Bring a sixer too. By the way, I mean, if you are coming up. But no, seriously, you got 15 minutes. You're having a panic attack. What do? Lie down, take a
Breathe
hot bath.
deeply,
Hot bath's not a bad
hot
idea.
bath. Watch a little TV, something to get your mind
What
off.
about
it.
my booze remedy to everything?
Yeah,
How
I know
come you
you
don't
keep-
go along with that?
Because it turns out that those sorts of things can ultimately make things a lot worse.
Mhm.
You don't think
Not if you're not even an addict. Just the biology of those things work against where you're trying to go.
All right. Well, we'll go to a commercial. When we come back, we'll speak to Ashley, 17. It hurts when she has sex with a boyfriend. We'll get to the bottom of that. Tom Arnold's our guest tonight, and more with him and you after this.
Hello? Who's this?
This is LoveLine. 1-800-LOVE-191. LoveLine will be right back.
Oh, yeah. Tales from the Road. Tom Arnold is our guest tonight. Animal Factory is the name of the new film in limited release coming out this Friday. Steve Buscemi is in front of the camera a little bit, behind the camera full time. Eddie Furlong, Willem Dafoe, Mickey Rourke, and a lot of white guys for a prison movie.
Well, Danny Trejo's in it.
Oh, Danny's black.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well, he's Hispanic.
Oh, he's Hispanic.
I think
Okay.
so.
Oh,
But there's a
Trejo,
whole bunch
yeah.
of black guys, but those guys were the real prisoners. We actually used real convicts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were funny because they were extras. They had
Where'd
all
you
that.
film
They got
it?
paid at Holmesburg. Yeah, they got paid. Holmesburg Federal Penitentiary
Holmesburg,
outside of
Pennsylvania?
outside
Anything birds out
of
of
Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania.
It's a nasty, nasty place.
Oh, it's not a nice prison?
No, it's not. It's when the prisoners were smaller. It's an old one. The rooms are small.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, Actually, you know how they say that like a goldfish only get as big as the bowl kind
True.
of thing. If I was a prison warden, I'd have the ceilings lowered and have them narrowed down a little so some of those behemoths didn't grow so much. They're just pumping iron and eating prison slop all they get 400 pounds. They come out ripped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what prisons are? It's like being locked at a holiday health spa. It's like being locked in a
It's
gym.
exactly like that.
It's like someone
It's a
goes,
vacation.
Yeah, for 20. It's like if they locked you in a gym for 10 years, you might not work out for the first 4 years, but eventually you'd go, oh, screw it, give me that medicine ball. So these guys come out like assassins.
Right.
So if you lowered the ceiling again, they'd only get so big.
Right.
Or they'd have really low self-esteem. I don't know what it is, but I'm working on this one. This is good. All right. Ashley,
Yeah.
you're 17.
Yeah.
I bet the guys in prison would have liked your tip on the wet side, dry side towel.
Yeah,
tip.
they would. I don't think they let them have towels.
Oh, really?
Might hang themselves
Maybe they. Yeah, that's right.
or strangle.
Well, that's what you do. You strangle yourself a little bit, and then it's really good. Is that what's that called?
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Have you ever done that, Drew?
Not until last night.
I got
Adam has.
not intentional. I got tangled up in the phone cord once when I was drunk. It was good. Don't get me wrong. All right, Ashley.
Yeah.
I do remember very clearly about 12 years ago when my grandmother was explaining that phenomenon to me.
Right.
And sort of halfway into it, so you master. Oh Jesus! And then what they do is they strangle them. That's good, Grandma. Thanks. Now I'm out of commission for a week. Thank you. Ashley, what's up?
Yeah. You know what? I actually made up my question. I apologize for that, but I'm dying to talk to you guys.
All right.
Great.
Okay.
I just think you guys are awesome, and I totally admire you for all the time and energy you spend on these callers. It's really cool. And
Wait now, Ashley. You heard Adam doesn't spend much energy at all. If he has to spend
Well,
energy, he
you
starts
do.
screaming at him.
Well, that's energy, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah.
I go to a really small private girls' school, and there's not much information circulating, to say the least. So
Where do you live?
San Francisco.
What kind of outfits do you wear there?
Britney Spears outfits.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh my God! Talk about just putting out the welcome wagon to the pedophiles and the rapists. You know what I mean? I think you guys should be wearing orange jumpsuits like prisoners. You know what I mean? Think about it for a second. I know it sounds. This is a problem, right? There's a lot of young women getting
Right.
pregnant, being sexually assaulted and stuff. You put them in the pigtails and the plaid skirt and the knee-high socks, and you're asking for trouble.
Are there problems there, Ashley?
Well, not really. It's kind of weird to have these girls with really short skirts and makeup. When it's all girls, it's kind of weird. But no, not really.
Do the girls still get dudded up or
Yeah, they do.
primped for?
They do.
For each other.
Yeah.
That's amazing. See, you go
You
to an
need a
all-boys
uniform.
school. I'd be walking around in a pair of sweatpants with an erection and like mustard on it and slippers,
And lunch on your chest.
Yeah. Forget it. Are you kidding? Why? Why are they getting primped?
I don't know.
Is it in the middle of the city?
Yeah, it's in Pacific Heights.
Right.
But women do compete with other women,
Oh, yeah.
I think, and men compete with other men when there's women around or in sports, but not amongst each other when there's no women around.
Right. They're just physically competing.
Eating
with each other.
contest.
Yeah. They see who can eat the most Bacos.
Right.
They do smart things like that. I love that. I had my friends like once. It was great, like 3 of them, to see how much water they could drink.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
in
one.
10 minutes, they all vomited. It was,
Yeah.
it was great.
That's great.
It was great. It's great paying guys. Like I have the friend that paid a guy $100 to eat the cube of butter, and he vomited.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Just paying guys to vomit, basically.
paying guys will pay guys to torture them. It's great.
Ashley, do you have a question?
No.
Yeah, actually, I do have a couple.
Oh.
Okay.
The first one is, Adam, I'm just kind of curious, where did you get your working around metal theory?
You mean
working around metal?
The men who work around metal,
Yeah, I'm just curious where you
and
got that.
and why I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Well, it's mainly guys. Blue collar is a pretty scary way to go with the guys. That's per capita. That's alcoholism and rapists and child abuse and stuff like that. And then even that has a pecking order. And I guess sort of Finnish carpenter sort of at the top, and it works its way down to welder. And I worked with a guy, when I used to do earthquake rehab work, I worked with a couple of welders, and they're the scuzziest guys in the world. Most welders get into welding so that they can fix their motorcycles. They're usually bikers who get jobs at muffler shops. Go to now. I'm not talking about a big chain, Meineke or something, or Midas or something like that. But go to a hole-in-the-wall muffler place and take a look at the dude who's sitting in there with that scraggly beard and he's got his hog leaned up against the wall and he's got all these nudie magazines everywhere. And I work with this dude named Russ, and Russ told me the first day I met him, and that's what I like about these guys. The first day I met the guy, he was telling me how he put Pop Rocks in his wife's coos and ate it. And I thought, I've known you for 4.5 hours, and you're telling me how you violated your wife with candy.
Did you ever do that with anybody?
No, I never did the Pop
Rock
Rock
that seems like
thing.
something that would be in the back of your mind and come up, just happen to have some.
You figure Russ planted the seed.
Exactly.
I was so disgusted by the look of this guy, Russ. He was like toothless and he was scraggly. You know when guys are really skinny and look really out of shape at the same time?
Right.
It's kind of a tall order, but it's really bad. Like super skinny with a gut.
Yeah.
And that was Russ. I hope he's listening.
Did you work before?
I worked in a meatpacking plant. Yeah,
that's right.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different animal because we got guys in there that are, the guys that were in livestock who actually did most of the killing. Are a different breed than the guys that did the cutting, and they get, it went, it was in Iowa back in Ottumwa.
It's like people follow the path of least resistance. They go to the place where they don't feel.
Right.
We were talking to Kim Cole about this last night. She had some experiences where she couldn't understand why she was going back for some abuse, and it was like she didn't even notice that she was being abused. She didn't have a feeling about it.
I couldn't imagine working in a slaughterhouse.
I did it 3 years. 3 years,
my
and
God.
No windows. It's 5,000 hogs a day we killed, and they cut, just cut them up. But it was the best job in town. Wow. My grandpa worked there 50 years.
Same kind of job.
Yeah. It was. I had my nickname was Gunner because my job, if the hog had a broken leg, my job was to shoot it in the head and kill it. Put it out of its misery. And so one day there was 6 of them with broken legs, and it was lunchtime. So you're supposed to shoot them one at a time and then hang them up and then cut their throat. Like the humane way. And I just shot them all and then went to lunch and they condemned them. They said these can't be used, and that I almost got fired, and then I got the nickname Gunner.
Because they hung out while you ate lunch?
You got to cut their throats right away to get that blood out of them because it taints them. As soon as they're dead, they have to be hung up by their back hoof, and the way they usually kill.
Same with hookers, by the way.
Exactly.
I don't know if people know that.
People that eat meat should know this, but the way they do kill them, they shock them. And it drops them down.
Oh, they walk onto a grate or something?
They walk onto it, and they put this thing comes on their back with these prods, and it just shocks them, and it knocks them out. Then they hang them up by their back hoof and cut their throat right away. And that's how they kill them.
And when did the shocking part come in?
That's for the the humane. They used to hit them in the head with a hammer.
Right.
And then a lot of times you'd have to hit them a whole bunch of times.
That's nice.
And that's not good. That's not good. But this way is sort of humane.
Okay, so they do the shock, or they can choose lethal injection. I hear
exactly.
Now. But they give them the shock, and then you have to slit their throat and hang them immediately.
Immediately.
And what's the average weight of one of those hogs?
About 250 pounds.
Yeah,
okay, so you got to get them up on a hoist or something and bleed them immediately because the blood sits in them for any period of time.
It's screwed up.
Once they're dead, obviously.
They're condemned.
Oh, they're condemned.
They're condemned. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to feel good when you're a hog that Tom Arnold just put a 44 slug in your head and you're going out in the dumpster. Nice,
exactly.
Nice life. Thank God you were here.
Exactly.
So now you got to shoot the ones, or you had to shoot the ones who had a bad leg.
Well, they're broken. They were
shocked?
hurt. Yeah, they couldn't be hung up because their leg was broke. It wouldn't hold by the chain. I mean, it's sad, but that's the way it went. I worked on farms.
What happened to them?
Then I shot them. And then and they were dead. And then we used them for other types of activities, pepperoni for Pizza Hut. We would get these boars in that had been out 1,800 pounds that had tusks, and they'd been in the farmers' fields. They didn't know where they were for years. They bring them in. They're so big and mean. We try to weigh them, and they're so violent. You got to be careful. And one guy had this big bar, and as soon as they'd be knocking people around. They killed a guy once and knocked people around. He'd take that bar.
Wait a minute, did you eat the guy?
No,
no.
Put him up, slit his throat, though.
Exactly. Well, they had to. The inspector was coming by.
But this is how crazy these people are that work there. And then the testicles in the back. He'd take that iron bar and just give them a little tap, and then it would kind of settle down, and then they could shock them and cut their throat.
Right. Oh my God! And what would that to me? It's like Vietnam. It's like
it
you
was
work
hard.
at Vietnam. You go in and punch in at Vietnam.
It's
Ho Chi
hard.
Minh Trail.
In
You
that,
work-
but that's just on the kill floor. If you're in a ham bone or something like that, you don't really see that. You just see the hams. They aren't human. They aren't animal. They aren't alive.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know.
but being down on the floor when they're, especially after, did your mom read you Charlotte's Web when you were growing up?
No, we didn't have to read.
Okay, good
No,
man. Because
exactly. I understand. I've read it
There's a
since.
pig in that.
Yes.
talks.
Do you eat meat?
Oh yeah, I used to eat meat. I'd cut a ham would come by. I'd cut a big chunk off and cook it in my meat cleaner. You got a little hot steamer there, and eat it.
Whoa! What was the hot steamer? You
Well,
had like a fondue bowl. in
Yeah,
front of
it's
you?
like a big. It's like a cup that's full of hot water that you clean your knife in it, and it's boiling, and you just cut a piece of ham off and put it in
Drop
there.
it in there.
and eat it. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
No
And I'm a
wonder-
Jew.
This is why you're scared to not work. No, listen, you're not Jewish when you're in Iowa. Out of Iowa,
That's
you're
true.
not Jewish.
That's true.
No wonder the guy's scared to turn down work. He's back. He's going slopping.
That's
He's going to the floor. He's going to do some slitting. All right, one last question.
Yeah.
When you shoot the hog,
Right.
do you shoot it with a pistol?
No, we shoot it with it's a pistol type weapon that has a bolt that's
Has a
about
hammer in it, right?
Yeah, it's a bolt that comes out about 8 inches or 6 inches maybe. It goes into right behind the ear, and it immediately, if you do it right,
Sure.
you get them down immediately.
Pissing.
And it,
Yeah.
and it just punctures the skull and goes actually into the brain?
Yeah. Now my sister works there. She got out of prison after 10 years last year, and she's already got a job down there and doing great.
Really?
Yeah, it's a perfect job for her.
She was an extra in the Buscemi movie, by the way.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. No, wait, we got to go to break.
I wonder why it's a good job for her.
I could do another. Here's the problem with this show, quite honestly. I get told constantly by the program director, stop talking and start taking calls. But when Tom Arnold comes in here and talks about putting hits on pigs and going to lunch and his boiling pot in front of him and his sister doing time, what are you supposed to do with that?
You got to talk.
All right, we'll come back.
Yeah, but see, it's
and
him talking, not you. That's okay.
How dare you? How dare you? We'll find out what his sister did time for.
Yeah.
And then we'll take some calls.
Okay.
After this.
LoveLine will be right back. So get your problems ready. Ready.
Hey, it is LoveLine. Who doesn't want to stop this conversation?
Does sound familiar.
Tom Arnold is our guest tonight. He's got a new movie coming out this Friday in limited release, which means New York, L.A., and I don't know, maybe Chicago, something like that.
That'd be good.
But it'll get to a town near you soon enough. It's called Animal Factory, coincidentally enough. Tom
It was
just-
a hog factory, not a cow. Don't you have a hog sound? You think you would on this show.
You really do.
Of all. There
we go.
Boy,
Is
that's
that-
familiar.
Is that it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, just multiply that by 5,000.
Oh, wow.
And you got my daily
You
grind
get the
down there.
smell going, too.
Oh, the smell. Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man. 5,000 a day.
I remember when I was working there the first year, I heard this gal wanted me to take her to the prom. I was the first year out of high school. And I went home from work, and she was there. And I hadn't showered yet. I worked in livestock. And she made out with me and everything. And
What
then
a
asked
woman.
me to go to the prom with her, to take her to the prom. I mean, that's how desperate she was. Then she ended up not going with me. I forget what happened. I was going to go.
Is,
So your
is-
sister was in jail.
Oh,
My
yeah.
sister was in prison.
10 years.
10 years for interstate criminal enterprise
Right.
drugs. And her husband's still in prison in Fort Leavenworth,
Now,
Kansas, because he
was-
wouldn't apologize.
Was she, so she was selling drugs?
Yeah, she was selling, trying to manufacture
Speed.
the drug, speed, crystal meth, yeah.
And
Bikers.
Was this a first offense?
Yeah, they'd actually busted her once. She was driving in from her farm, quote unquote,
Right.
and she saw the battering ram, everybody coming out, and she called Floyd and said, "Hey, you better flush everything down the toilet," and he did. And so they got away with it, but of course they kept their ego and the addiction. They just
Right.
kept on selling it. And, they had a plane, and they drove a Jaguar, and
Oh my
stupid stuff.
God.
And the Jaguar, the license plate said dealer. So,
my God.
well, they had the cops. There was policemen back in Ottumwa that were working for them. My stepfather was a captain of the police force, and he was the head of security at their farm.
Oh, my God.
And
Wow.
several, they had but it was crazy. It was crazy, and you knew it was going to happen. and then it happened, and then she, had to go away for 10 years, and
And now she's
Wow.
working at the slaughterhouse.
yeah, that's good. Well, she was a model prisoner back there in West Virginia. She got the Prisoner of the Month several times, and she did very, very well. And
That's
so-
going on the resume.
I want to hope to hell there is not really such a thing.
Oh, absolutely, there is.
Oh my God.
I went back and talked to 98% of the women are
God.
there because of drugs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
How do you feel about that as a recovering person? Do you think that it helps people get, structure their life so they eventually get into recovery, creates the consequences that deliver them to recovery, or are we just spinning our wheels needlessly?
Well, some of it's good. I think Robert Downey Jr. That was probably a good thing for him.
Saves
I
his
mean,
life.
it's good when you
Listen,
get a
Scott
judge.
Scott Weiland saved his life.
Yeah, definitely. It's good when you get a judge that'll be tough because there's so many. You see them today. I have friends that have kids that are out there and they're doing all this stuff, and a lot of them are rich kids. So the parents, they've never had to have a job. The parent, they don't have any self-esteem. Parents don't know what to do until the kid gets arrested or dies or whatever.
Right.
It's just there needs to be some serious consequences.
Well,
with
that's
these
what the
people.
law provides, though, right?
Exactly.
So is that a good thing?
It
then?
is. Well, it saved her life. I mean,
Yeah.
she went to prison and didn't keep doing all the crystal she was doing, and probably, but people back in my hometown get arrested every day. They know it's illegal, but the problem with crystal is it's not like Coke where you got to involve international
Right, you can
people.
make
You
it
can make
there.
it in your bathtub, and they say, well, this is a chance to make some money, and it's so addictive and such a grungy drug that people continue to do it, and the penalties are incredible. Her first offense she got 25 years originally. They were going to go for a life sentence on the RICO statute.
Wow.
But the problem is she had the DEA agents. They have a videotape of they went to make a deal with her, and they sat there. It was just the two agents and her, and they said, "What, Lori, we're surprised. This is a lot of money. You aren't scared." She goes, "No, I'm not scared." And she pulled out her gun and set it in front of her. And that got her another 5 years right there. I'm
Wow.
not scared.
She's brazen this one.
Yeah.
But, there's a new proposition coming out in California that's trying to funnel some of that punitive sort of response to treatment.
That's a
Yeah.
great
Which
idea.
is-
I
I mean,
think it's a good idea, too.
Here's the problem: kids don't realize, people don't realize this. When you do coke, okay, you're doing coke, you're partying with your buddies, but you think about it politically. What you are doing, you are involving the line from the coke to get to you. All the things that have happened in the original country, the corruption, people are dying over there. All these people that are very liberal, and yet they're doing coke and even smoking pot.
So what Tom is saying is make your own speed.
Think about it. Yeah, you can make
Right.
your own speed. Get
Right.
some Freon and
Look for the union label. I agree with Tom.
Exactly.
On that one. All right, so Sis is out of prison. She was a model prisoner. She was a prom queen 2 years running, and a snow days queen, I think, in prison as well, and is now out, and she's working at the, she's not driving the Jag anymore, is she?
no.
Okay. It's great. I got to say one thing, and then we're going to a call.
Okay.
I love to see a car that is well past its prime, some pimp, some drug dealer, someone who's really riding high for a lot of while.
Yeah.
Took his Cadillac DeVille, had it modified, put the Rolls-Royce grill on it, put
Yeah.
the spare tire on top of the trunk, had it painted gold and stuff, and is still driving it 17 years later, but it's a
Exactly.
piece of ass now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that's good.
Got the opera windows with the carved glass
The
in it and
ego
everything,
is
but it's,
still there,
but
but
it's falling apart.
right.
Cliff,
Yes.
you're 29. What's up?
Well, I've been kind of embarrassed for the last 20 years, I guess. I've been wanting to go to the doctor or this. I'm very small, and I was wanting to find out. I've listened to your show a bunch, and I really admire y'all's talk, how y'all talk to people, and
How big we talking about here?
Where are you from? France?
No, sir.
No.
I'm from Kentucky.
New York? Oh,
It sounds like
okay.
you live by an airport.
No, sir. I'm on a cell phone.
Okay.
I travel, and I just happen to. I listen. I'm right outside of Cincinnati, and listen to y'all.
Nice.
show,
It's a
and,
wonderful airport there. Do you? You're small in the pants, in the groin.
How big are you?
4 inches hard.
Have you ever had any complaints from the ladies
Yeah.
You have. What happened?
outside the family?
What happened? What happened, Cliff?
Well, I've gone through several divorces, and mainly because people was cheating on me or whatever.
Yeah, but that's not
That's
the
not
reason.
the penis side. Well, what we have found, although you're slightly somewhat under average, what we have found is that men who preoccupy about this, that really becomes a symbol for their own worth, for their own esteem. And that if you felt better about yourself, what you were doing in your life, this would not be such a big issue.
How do you
to
feel better about yourself when you have a small dork, though, Drew?
Relax.
Okay. Hey, Cliff?
Well, I tell
Yes, sir.
you,
Yeah.
the thing about that is, I mean, it is so, no matter how much money you have or who you are, you're so connected. I have, Cliff, a little tape measure next to my bed, and this is a little embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you this because, first of all, my ex-wife used to do a lot of jokes about me having a small penis, so which actually was good because when people expect
Small.
3 inches and see
Right.
4, they're kind of impressed.
Right.
But no, I have it there, and average is what is it,
5.2.
5.2. So
Yeah.
I am above average, and I've whipped out that tape measure just to
Just to
show.
prove.
Now you do measure from the rectum,
Well,
am I
I'm
right?
talking
From
about
the anus.
from the rectum to just beyond the end of the penis.
Right.
It's the way I measure mine.
Right.
Just beyond.
Before-
Imaginary point, yes.
But 4 inches is not. That's not a problem.
No, it's not
No.
a
It's
problem.
the problem is with the people. First of all, your self-esteem is probably a
Right.
problem because no matter what, I always think guys with these huge penises. What do they have to live for? I mean, they've got the big penis, so they aren't going to try in life. It's the guys
Right.
with the small to average penises. We're the ones here that are going to be out there. We're going to be the best husbands and the best guys because we have to.
We're the scrappers. We're the Wayne Corbettes
exactly.
of the. And Drew, I know you don't know who that is.
I do.
Short,
He
white,
actually has a big penis. so
wide
Wayne.
receiver on the Jets. Overachievers.
He's a
is
great- yeah, he's a good
basically
guy,
is what
too.
I'm saying. All right, we got to take a break. Here's the deal. Get down with the oral sex. Women
Right.
like that
and
better
get, and
anyway.
get your ass together in life.
And we'll be back.
Hello, this is your radio. LoveLine will be right back.
It's LoveLine, everybody. Yeah. All right, that one didn't work that well. Tom Arnold is our guest tonight. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I like Tom as a guest because he's very honest on the show. Always a good guest on this show. Matt,
Yeah,
you're 16.
yeah.
What's up?
Ever since I've been like 14, I've had like I've been really small. And as I notice it now, I've looked at it in the last couple of months, I've seen a ring around my penis about halfway.
Like a halo? What are you talking about?
About halfway, so at the
It's like
1 inch mark.
No, more about the 3-inch mark. And it's my regular skin color below the line, and above it, it's like real pink.
Yeah, people get various kinds of pigmentation of the penis. It's a normal thing.
Are you a dark-skinned person?
No, I'm white.
Do you go in a tanning bed?
No.
Okay, because if you go in a tanning bed and you do masturbate in there, then you will get weird tan.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, but it
And you
does.
go blind too, because you got to keep your eyes on the door in case somebody comes
Is it
in.
like from squeezing?
But you
too
can
hard?
you can spill some of that SPF 30 on your belly, and that'll block it out and give you a blotchy tan.
Is it like from like using lubrications or like?
Your skin can pigment from irritation, from overactive.
Can I ask one more question?
Tom recommends Astroglide, by the way.
I do.
Can I
That I
ask one more
do.
question?
And a warm
Yeah.
towel.
It's edible.
Yeah,
Hey, Adam, you and Howard Stern are like my favorite radio guys. What do you think of him?
I like him.
You do?
Yeah, I listen to him quite often.
I did the show last week, and I will say this.
Yeah, I heard you on there.
I brought the gal that I'm dating.
Yeah.
Okay, we went on The View on Monday, which was
Oh,
good. She
I
was
bet
in
he
the
made
audience.
fun
They
of
showed
that.
that, yeah.
Yeah, he made
And then
fun of that.
I brought her on Howard Stern, and I'll tell you, the relationship, that is
Deteriorated.
oh man, that was, she was in, I was a 6-hour silent flight on the way
What
back.
did he do?
Well, it wasn't him. He was nice. It was nice as he could be, but it was the callers.
yeah.
One of them, they were all slamming me, but one of them said something about her being a gold digger. It was, they have the regular callers that, the same guys that call up, whatever.
Right.
And I'm so used to being slammed that I think it's funny, and it kind of shocked her because she's a private person, and it's been, and plus the fact is that it made our relationship public. And you hear from ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends. If you break up with somebody, you don't expect to see them on or hear them on national radio or see them on national TV. You just kind of want to forget about the relationship.
Right.
And this kind of put it all in the forefront, and it's been tough since.
Tom, I know hindsight's 20/20.
You're right.
But it seemed like a bad idea to bring her along.
You know what? It was, and I apologize to her mother.
Oh.
I had to, and her mother didn't give me a break. She wasn't like, I understand. She's like, yeah, that was bad. Don't put my daughter in
I
that
don't
position.
understand. I don't understand
exactly what happened. Well, I went on the show, and I brought her in. She was with me in New York. I said, come on, it'll be fine. And so the show was about us, and about her and why she's dating me, and
so he just starts picking at her.
Picking at her, but he was just being nice. But then, Robin was kind of being, a little bitchy, and then the people that called in, and she had a necklace on that I'd given her, and they made a big thing out of that, like it was the Hope Diamond or something, and it was shocking to her. She's a political consultant. She's not used to. The View was kind of fun. She sat in the audience. They showed her in the audience. Nice. And then this was
Barbara
a lot
Walters is a little different than
Tara New.
Yeah, exactly.
Barbara didn't tear her new asshole.
No, she didn't. But it was. But she handled it very, very well, and it was a good litmus test, as my publicist says.
Whatever doesn't kill you, Tom.
Yeah.
All right.
But I like that show too.
I do enjoy listening to it, and I have for many years.
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah.
You're 21. What's up?
All right.
When I'm not listening to Kevin and Bean, by the way, which is on
That's
K-Rock
all I
out
listen
here.
to.
They're good too. I like them. Nice
well,
guys.
They go off at 10, and then Howard.
Even though
keeps
they
going,
are
so tune in over there.
incredibly abusive to me.
Oh, true. They're
Especially
jealous.
Ralph.
They're jealous. That's all.
That's got to be it.
Kevin?
Yeah. Hey.
What's up?
It's a big honor, you guys. I'm happy to be on.
Well, thanks.
What's just one quick question. How come you sometimes say a-hole, and then other times you just blurt it out? I mean.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's two different things. It's two different words, really.
You're trying to be delicate sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. All I do know is that I'm used to saying I don't give an ass and effed up and mother effer and things like that. And I talk that way in real life, too, and people look at me strange.
Sounds like you have kids.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny. But no, Kevin, I have no idea. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question. All right. Last summer, I was eating a bunch of LSD and smoking all kinds of dope, and I managed to kind of work myself into a towering psychosis, and I had to be hospitalized.
Nice.
And then since then, I got treatment, and I've gone sober and everything. Oh, and when I was hospitalized, I was diagnosed with bipolar, of course, because of all the mania.
Yeah.
But then since then, I've been sober, and I haven't had any manic symptoms at all.
And you're off medicine?
Well, I'm still taking antidepressants. I'm not taking any mood stabilizers.
So it's somewhat hard to know if the drugs precipitated something that was sort of pre-existing, or whether that really was just a manifestation of your drug use. And make no mistake, all drugs of abuse can mimic any psychiatric syndrome that there is.
Oh, really?
The rule of thumb is you're not even supposed to try to make a psychiatric diagnosis until somebody's been completely drug-free for at least 2 to 6 months, depending
Really?
on the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what my psychiatrist said.
Yeah.
He said that usually there's a pre-existing condition, and then the drugs will kind of accentuate. He said that generally drugs don't just create.
No, you're missing what I've said. I said it's possible it's pre-existing, but it's extremely common for drugs just to create these psychiatric.
All right. So what should he do?
You just you follow along, and maybe after a year of sobriety or a couple years of sobriety, you may want to get off the antidepressants. But just the drugs you've been doing is going to put you at risk for a lifetime of depression. So I wouldn't be in a hurry to get off those medicines.
Are you on anything?
I'm not on anything, but I did used to take the last time I took acid, which I've been sober almost 11 years. I will say this.
Almost 11 years, right?
Yeah, December 10th will be 11 years.
Wow.
Thank you. But I have to say this. First of all, when I took acid, I would always be drinking a lot, and I'd forget how much I'd taken, and I'd always take more extra. And second, my roommates at the University of Iowa had a Christmas party, and they didn't invite me because I was an asshole. But I just thought they didn't like it. They were snobs. I remember looking in the front window, and they were all gathered around a Christmas tree exchanging gifts, and I felt so bad. I was there with my drug buddies. So I stormed into the house and grabbed the Christmas tree and threw it out into the street. And that was the last time that was the last time I They cut up all my shoes.
But that's great. You really think about it, they only have to cut one shoe up.
Exactly.
The other one's no good.
Iowa winner.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Tom walking around with Kleenex boxes on his feet.
And I had a friend call him up the next day and say, "Hey, did you see Tom last night? Somebody must have spiked his drink or something because I guess he was acting weird." I was so embarrassed,
But I'm talking about like antidepressants.
No, I
legitimate drugs.
thought about whether I need them or not because I do get depressed.
Never on any of that sort of
I
stuff.
haven't been. I'm not. I would do it. I mean, I go to. I have a therapist. If he wanted me to take it, I would.
Yeah.
But exercise works out pretty well for me.
Right. Well, it does.
And the place of my life, you should be depressed. In
life.
In life you should. I mean,
well, what about your sister got Prisoner of the Year in Iowa? What are you talking about? I built a shrine to her at the Arnold house.
Rejoice.
John?
Yeah.
I'm going to go kiss my sister next time I see her, by the way. I'm sorry for all those things I said. John, you're 19. What's up?
I just got a quick question for you. Just want to say first I love your show.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. My mom went out of town maybe a week ago, and she's coming back in a week. And it's been happening for maybe 2-3 years. Whenever I'm home alone, about ready to go to bed around 10, 11 o'clock, I get kind of paranoid.
Right.
Like there's someone in the house, there's someone around the house. I live kind of in the woodsy area,
Are you categorically convinced there's someone there, or you just get kind of a free-floating fear that's happening?
It's like a free-floating fear.
That's normal. Well, you're 19.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd be like that too,
Are
especially
you-
in the woods.
Yeah.
Are you on drugs? Are you paranoid?
Not on drugs. I used to smoke weed maybe once a week, but I stopped that maybe 4 months ago.
Nah.
Got bored with it.
Nah.
That ain't it.
Uh-uh.
Nah, I think you're 19 and
And you're alone in the woods.
There are a lot of killers out there, though.
Yeah, especially in the woods. So have a good night. No, it's true. There's something weird about being out on your own or being on your own for the first
Yeah,
time,
of
18
course.
or
I
19
hate
years
it.
old, and it wears off at a certain point.
Mm.
And then you get to the point where I'm at now, which is you're pissed off when people show up at the house.
Right.
What do you want?
When I was about 9 years old, my grandparents would go out of town, and I had to take care of my great-grandmother in their big
What?
old house.
When you were 9?
When I was 9 years old.
How old
And
was your great-grandmother?
She was like 85.
Oh,
she was
my
completely.
God.
And so I would be, I remember the bed I slept in. There was a mirror straight across from it, and I would look in that mirror, at night, thinking the shadows, thinking there was somebody on the headboard ready to jump on me. I just could never sleep. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I still have a little fear.
I grew up. I had that situation too, which is my parents got divorced when I was 7 years old, and I was living with my sort of depressed mom who didn't like coming out of her room too much. And it was a very horrible and uncomfortable feeling, which is you're 8, you're 9, you're 10 years old. You know you can't defend yourself, but you're old enough to know that mommy ain't doing nothing if the Hillside Strangler breaks into the house, which was very popular. And see, when you're a kid, you can't put things in a context. You watch the news, you hear the Hillside Stranglers out on the loose, or the Night Stalkers out on the loose, and you figure, I got a 50-50 chance of this guy busting in at least twice a week.
Well, he's got to run through our yard at some point.
Right.
At some point, he's out on the loose.
But hopefully he'll kill your mom first so you can hear her, the screams, and then you can be alerted.
Right. That's why I had a arrow going to her room. And, prize hog. There you go. Make sure and hang her up. I'll be heading out the back window. Melissa?
Yeah.
You're 18?
Uh-huh.
What's up?
Well, I've been with this guy for like 2 weeks.
All right, well, hold on. I'm not interested in that. I want to talk to this person
Why?
for a second. Because I just saw this person's having sex with their
Asshole.
cousin. Ben?
Yeah,
You're 18?
that's right.
You having sex with your cousin?
Yeah.
All right.
I had a question. I was just wondering if by accident we had a kid,
Yeah.
could that lead to could that be messed up or?
First cousin?
It could, it's more of the potential for those kinds of problems than there should be.
Now, whose side of the family is this on?
It's on my mom's side.
So this is your mom's, what, brother, sister's kid?
Sister's kid.
Sister's kid. How old is she?
She's 16.
Nice. Does anyone know?
Only another person knows, one of my friends.
I see. You figure it's going to come out sooner or later, though, right?
Yeah.
How are you, a little taboo 2 theme for you. Are you guys seeing each other? I mean, you like dating and stuff?
Well, not really. It's kind of just like a
Holiday thing.
yeah.
It's just kind of a
Celebration.
She'll actually be leaving in a couple weeks, so
Oh.
Oh, I
Where's
see.
she-
She's in town?
yeah.
Nice. And she's staying with you guys?
Uh huh.
Oh, that's great. Well, she can talk to her therapist about that for 100 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And why don't you kind of back off and maybe date someone, from school or something?
Outside the clan.
Right.
Can you do that?
Well, I can try.
For her sake. At
Yeah.
least, because
It's
she's
not,
younger.
It's
and-
not healthy for her, above all else.
It screws women up. Guys can somehow handle this.
Okay.
Women don't handle it as well. All right, Ben?
All right.
Generally speaking.
And it doesn't, but it's a little bit of a wives' tale that the kid comes out mongoloid, isn't it?
No, it's just the more potential for congenital problems. Sharing genes like that, not the healthiest thing for the population.
Really? Doesn't get a pure breed? No.
Well, plus the family, it's bad.
Oh,
it
awful.
causes friction.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what is that? What would their offspring become then?
How would they?
To the family. What is that? You know
In
what I
other
mean?
words,
They'd be second cousins
to
to their own
like-
kid.
Would you be second cousin to your kid?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
How about
Well,
to the-
2 presents on Christmas, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. All right. Melissa?
Yeah.
All right, so you're 18. I'm sorry. What's up?
I've been seeing this guy for like 2 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and he's already told me he loves me.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he hasn't called me for a week,
Uh-huh.
and I just don't know what to do because.
Did you tell him you loved him?
Yeah, I did.
How old is he?
21.
I see. Is he really 21 or is he like 24?
No, he's really honestly 21.
I see. And you're 18.
Uh-huh. And this is my first relationship.
Oh, boy.
And why is it your first relationship?
I don't know.
Are you scared of guys?
No, just none of them ever approached me. Until
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay. Well, what are you doing now? You going to college?
Yeah,
Where are you going to college?
UCSB.
I see. You're a gaucho?
A what?
A gaucho?
I guess.
Yeah, that's the name of the team there?
Yeah.
Okay. I see you're a strong supporter of the squad.
How could you not
never
know
miss a
that?
home game, do you?
Yeah.
How could
some
you not?
Some guys are just jerks. I mean, this could be the situation. I feel for her because, I always tell women, listen, when you say you love me, my only request is that you don't stop saying it. So
Right.
save it until you're really ready. Because I usually will say it, after about 2 weeks. And then I just wait and wait and wait. But what's bad is when they say it and then they stop saying it like, good night, I love you, okay, good night, and you wait for that.
Night,
That's a
Tom.
sad thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy probably just got scared and he's, 21 and he's whatever.
That
and
or he's trying to manipulate her.
it could be.
Hey, Melissa,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you give him one more shot and just be straight up with him?
Okay.
And just call him. Here's what to do. And I recommend this to everyone, although it never works, which is just call the person. Here's the deal. You don't have to be immature just because they're being immature, and you don't have to play a game just because they initiated a game. You can call a guy or a girl and say, hey, I realize this may be going against the advice of some of my friends, but I like you. And if you like me, let's continue to see each other. And if not, that's all right. But tell me, and we'll get on with our lives.
Right.
And if he can't handle that, then it sort of takes care of itself.
Go back to in other words. That's good.
There you go. Yeah, that's solid. She doesn't know the name for her team. Oh, it's a little weird.
She just started school.
Okay. What's the date? All right.
October, yeah.
Janice, don't they take care of that in like freshman orientation? Yeah. Janice?
Yeah.
Iowa, go Hawkeyes. Right?
She from Iowa?
No, I was just...
Iowa, we're Hawkeyes.
What's
yeah,
Iowa
we're
State?
Iowa State is the Hog Sloppers.
Cyclones.
It's a bird or something, yeah.
Cyclones. It's a bird, but it's the Cyclones.
Janice?
Yeah.
You're 27. What's up?
Do guys ever grow up and stop trying to have a sexual relationship with their female friends?
Why? You have a lot of friends that want that?
Yes, I always have. And I've been with my partner, and it's a guy, I just call him my partner, for 6 years, and all his friends hit on me, and guys that I know hit on me, guys at work hit on me.
Why do you call him your partner?
Because he's not my boyfriend. I mean, I'm not 12, so
Wow.
he's not my husband. So
You're a little bitter toward the gents, are you, Janice? A little anger?
I just think boyfriend is a really juvenile term, and it doesn't really have anything to do with.
Because he won't commit to you?
No, I mean we are committed. We've been together, lived together, and shared everything for 6.5 years.
He doesn't date other people?
No.
Why don't you get married?
We will. I mean, we just haven't gotten around to it.
We haven't, or he hasn't?
We haven't. It's something we've talked about, and it's just our families are from different coasts.
Right. Let me see how the conversation went.
Yeah.
Let's get married. No.
Not ready. Any more time?
Hey, okay, Janice, you like your dad?
No.
No.
No, I don't even know him.
Yeah.
There we go. Because here's the deal. There's plenty of attractive women who have plenty of male friends, and they have it all under control.
Mhm.
And if guys are hitting on you, your buddies are hitting on you, or his buddies are hitting on you, and people at work are hitting on you, there's two things you're doing. It's one of two things. Either you're projecting something that says, come hit on me,
Or you're
hanging around with a-holes.
You're choosing a-holes.
It's one
That's
or the
it.
other.
Where do you work?
I'm an artist. I work in a gallery.
Oh, well.
But isn't all the guys there gay?
No.
No.
Wow.
There's some French guys. But,
Okay. I mean, I have friends that are women that that are married to my friends, but I'm actually friends with both.
Right.
That's great. I mean, those are my best friends, female friends.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't notice too much of this going on in my life either, and I haven't really.
That what?
I have friends hitting on my girlfriends,
Oh,
or
no.
me hitting on my friends' girlfriends.
No.
My boyfriend, I mean, his friends are jerks. I don't like his friends.
So don't hang around with them.
And listen, hey, let me tell you something. If all his friends are jerks, he's a jerk.
He's a jerk.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Understand?
He's complacent.
Oh, okay, then he's an idiot.
No, he's not.
Well, he shouldn't hang out with those guys then.
Why does he hang out with jerks then?
Yeah.
Because they've been his friends since college.
So
He
dumb.
doesn't
No,
know.
no, that's not. Nope, no good.
Something's up here. Here's the deal, Janice. Whatever's going on here can be traced back to you.
Okay.
Please accept that.
Okay.
That's the
Because
only
if,
way you're
if
gonna be
you
able to
don't
make
accept
change.
it, you're not gonna be able to alter your course at all.
Okay.
All right. So why are all the guys at the gallery hitting on you?
I mean, it's just I talk to people and I get to know people,
Yeah.
and like guys just seem to be able to talk to me really easily, and they'll say like, "Oh, I can't ever talk to my girlfriends like this," and
Yeah.
then they just like me, and we get
But
to be friends. And then
Don't you think
eventually-
there's a part of you that wants the attention, though?
I mean, I
Is your boyfriend's complacent?
no. I mean, he's not with me. It's just with his friends.
Okay, but put it this way, Janice,
Mhm.
because I've had this done to me many times by women.
Uh-huh.
If you meet a guy who you're clearly not interested in, you can present yourself in that way, and he will get the hint.
And then they just call me a bitch.
Okay. Hey, Janice, here's the deal. You're angry. You got problems with men. It probably has to do with your dad abandoning
And
you.
stepdads being
and,
a-holes.
and so on and so forth, and you're doing a lot of projection now. There's no doubt that your boyfriend may be complacent, maybe an idiot, and there's no doubt that his friends are jackasses, but you've turned every man in society into a guy who just wants sex, and you're projecting
No,
it.
I'm not saying it's every man. It's just the people that I end up getting close to.
Okay,
Well,
that's
let me
you.
Close to them.
My question is this: now, when they hit on you, do they make out with you? Do they kiss you? How do you know they're hitting on you?
No, I mean like they'll just. I mean, sometimes people have tried to kiss me and just tried to date me without, like, after knowing that I'm in a relationship and I'm not interested.
And you just say no, and then that's the end of it.
Well, sometimes it's the end of it, and then they just go, "Well, you're a bitch," and I didn't like you anyway in the first.
You bitch! All right, and that ruins you? I mean, that you're so fragile that
Your
that-
boyfriend should start slapping people around, I think.
No, I mean it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. It's just
Up,
when I make
don't
friends
care,
with people,
don't care. You
when I
don't
make
care.
friends with
You don't
people,
care.
I wanna
You
be
don't
friends
care.
with them.
You don't care.
And that's it. And I just like to be able to have
All right.
friends.
Janice,
without, like, the
Janice,
sex part.
Janice. I know I sound like a broken record and I sound like an a-hole, but this is all you. It is all you. You just own it. Whatever it is,
You got
you're running, you're bringing it in.
Keep dealing with reality on reality terms. People they're casting a play all the time.
Yes.
It's just transference. Every male becomes transferred into daddy somehow, and she becomes that person she's always been in relation to those males, rather than really assessing who that person is and dealing them with as a person, not as a symbol.
Okay, so dump this guy if his friends won't respect you. And as far as work goes, I don't care. All right, listen, I'm done helping you screwed up people. That's it. Drew, let's go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Tom, you want to watch?
Let's do it.
We'll be back.
You're gay. LoveLine, we'll be right back. Call them at 1-800-LOVE-191.
It's LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Tom Arnold is our guest tonight. He's out attempting to suck a golf ball through that
Cohiba.
cigar of his. He'll be in here in just a second, and I'll tell you one thing about Tom Arnold. He don't do anything 50%.
No.
Don't matter. Drugs, smoking, acting, work, whatever.
Yeah.
He's there. He's got it.
Slaughtering
hogs.
gunning.
What a life. What a life. Hey, Tom. Come on in. Sit down. Let's jump in on these kids, by the way.
Who are we curing?
We're going to cure David, who's 18. Yeah, cure may not be the right word. David?
Yeah, I have a problem. Well, ever since I was in 7th grade, I've had a larger penis than most grown men.
Oh, that is rough.
That's
especially
terrible.
when you're in the 7th and 8th grade. I know. Especially junior high, high school.
Rick Weimer had a giant penis in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Back in Iowa.
Somebody you knew?
Yeah, a kid we grew up with. It was amazing.
And you know that's
And
funny,
what
too.
did
We had a guy who had a big Johnson. His name was Mark Wampler. And for some reason, Weimer and Wampler.
Yeah.
Like, when a guy's got a big dork, his last name, you can sort of imagine a big penis. It's not that his last name is Shaftman or something. It's just that his name sounds like a name for big penis. Weimer. Oh, it's quite a Weimer you got there. You suck my
He was
Weimer,
embarrassed
you son
about
of a
it,
bitch.
too, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because we commented on it so much.
It must be nice, though, in a way to have that kind of thing.
It's got to be.
circulating.
A little recognition's nice.
Yeah, David, what's that?
I had the same problem. I mean, I get embarrassed about it because people talk about it so much, and a lot of the girls that I know and have actually gotten a chance with, they turned me down once they found out how big it actually was.
How big is it? How big is it?
It's about 8 inches long.
I've seen bigger. Weimer's was bigger.
Weimer's laughing his ass off right now
Yeah.
in Iowa. Yeah, so it's about 8 inches long. It's got some girth, though, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, it's about 6 inches around.
I see. Little can of corn. Well, 6 inches, like if you took a tape and
That's pretty big, though. 6 inches.
That's a damn lie, and you know it. we gotta get it. We gotta get cloth tape in here.
I got the one. I'll
figure
bring the
this
one
out.
from home next time next to my
Bring
bed.
the dry side. David. Yeah. So what do you want us to do?
I was wondering how I could get around that problem, or
Well, listen. First off, don't you get a certain amount of business just from the curiosity seekers? Certain amount of ladies who just want to see you?
yeah, but once I show them, they're like, no, never mind. No, that hurt, you know.
Maybe it's what it's connected to that's the problem.
It could be the engine.
That's probably their
Are
excuse.
you still in high school?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Okay, and yeah, all bets are off. And listen, David, they don't give you any oral sex?
No.
No.
Well, some do.
Some. Okay, just a
He's
sprinkling of oral sex?
He's 18. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, so who cares? This is not a problem. Drew, why do we even talk to him? Rhonda?
I just like to upset you.
Thank you. It worked. Rhonda, you're 22.
Hi.
What's up?
I want to know, is there a way that I can learn to deep throat?
Wow.
Why?
Really picked the theme tonight.
No, honestly, I would like to surprise my fiancé on our wedding night.
By vomiting on his belly?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to.
There's a woman in L.A. that goes around. A lot of my fancy friends, they have these all the wives get together, and she teaches them things like
What
that.
is her name?
There is a. You should have her
You
on
know
the
what her
show.
name is?
I
I've
can
heard-
find out for you.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to her. Well, does she bring like
Steve Tish can give you her name. Do you know Steve?
No.
He'll give you-
But John Tesh couldn't.
No, John Tesh
Steve
couldn't.
Tish could.
Yeah, he could.
Does she bring along like vibrators
Yeah,
and
she
stuff
tells
like
them
that?
how to
She has
do
these
that.
little meetings.
Yeah, and it's it's real like formal, but it's really.
I'd love to crash one of those
Yeah.
things. You know, just walk in the middle of 30 women that are all performing on a plastic dildo, and just throw myself on the table. In front of them.
What would?
Yes. What? Drew?
What is that? Is that deep throat thing that important to guys?
No. As a matter of fact, to me, it's a little disheartening because I don't like to see my penis develop in one swoop.
Right.
Here's what I'd like for a change. First off, I've always wanted Bernadette Peters to go down on me because she has that little, she has that little goldfish mouth.
Yeah.
I want to see a woman struggle. I want to see a woman get halfway down the penis and go, "That's it, baby. I can't. It's poking out of my ass. I can't take any more."
If you want to do something special on your wedding night, have you ever licked his butt? Because
Actually, I have.
Okay, because that's
and
nice.
I was thrilled.
Yeah, that's always thrilling. It's always a surprise. It's always nice. You might want to give him a little heads up for some, take a bath and stuff, shower.
Right.
But it's really a nice thing. And just do your best and lots of saliva. It's all going to be good. I had a problem.
See, that's not the problem. I just want to know is it possible? He's bigger than average. It's something
Right.
that he doesn't think is possible.
Let me just say this. I had a vocal cord that's paralyzed, so I used to have they put a thing down my nose, down my throat, a camera every time I went to the hospital to inject collagen in my throat.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it made me choke at first, but I'll tell you, I got used to it. So I think the thing is, you've got to, now maybe he has some buddies you could practice with before the wedding. And then you could,
good call.
That's it, yeah.
What about that? What about that? And that's interesting, because what you're trying to do is do away with the gag reflex. I do agree with Tom, which is nothing says I love you like that tongue in your ass. Hey,
It doesn't even really have to go in, just around the area is not, because I'll do it. I always set the example.
It's like you're saying this marriage is forever when that tongue gets in there. That's number one. And number two, that don't take any training at all. That takes as much training as bungee jumping. You know what I mean? That's just go for it.
Yeah.
Anyone could do it. So you don't have to be a
This is
Vietnamese
a good woman,
whore
though.
to pull that
It's
one
nice
off.
that she's thinking about these things.
Yeah. Here, Rhonda,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you, Drew, one can work on the gag reflex. Can't one?
One
I mean,
can.
Tom said
Yeah, I
when
worked out mine.
had the camera put down there. And by the way, could have probably used that when you're in prison.
Exactly.
What about taking something like a carrot, holding one end of it, and just sort of getting it used to getting it down there? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think you're going to vomit for a while.
But what about, but couldn't one
I guess one could.
sort of do that?
Yeah.
But
And
again,
how does,
why is the
They
how
should
do you
teach that in
know?
school
Why?
anyway. What the hell?
How do you know, though? Like, I put my finger down my throat to vomit a few times.
That's nice.
You can't do it.
Several hundred times. How do I know? How does my mouth know that my finger's in there? I don't make contact with anything. You know what I'm
usually you
saying?
have to make contact.
I
Oh, you
touched
do?
the thing in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah,
you
what
do.
is that thing called, Drew? The thing
Uvula.
Uvula,
Hangs
yeah.
down, yeah.
I almost had mine removed so I would quit making noises at night.
Oh, yeah, the uvulopaloplasty.
Yeah.
Because you snore.
But that turns out I wasn't snoring. I was moaning. The doctor said I need to be on some sort of antipsychotic because I taped myself and I was going, oh.
And you were overweight, too. Because the weight
yeah, the weight is a big thing on snoring.
Oh, jeez, I could imagine 300 pounds worth of cigar
Oh,
smell rolling
God.
over.
Are you talking about me or my wife?
Oh, man, you're lucky you live in a big house. I'm moaning in the middle of the night. Justin?
Yeah?
You're 17. What's up?
Well, I've been going out with my girlfriend for, actually I said a month to the secretary or whoever that was, but now I think about it, it's been about a month and a half.
I see.
That's a difference.
Yep, night and day.
And I've known her for a while, and
Right.
we're both very in love with each other. We went through a lot together.
Sure.
Month and a half, the whole playoffs, and now the World Series coming up.
Yeah, you guys really been through a lot.
Well, we haven't had sex or anything, but she's kind of pressuring me about it,
Sure, she don't want to have it.
Well,
No,
I'm
she
the
wants
one that-
she wants to have sex.
Yeah.
What do you
we're
mean
both-
you've been through a lot in 6 weeks?
No, we've been
She
through
had
a
her
lot.
braces taken off.
Yeah.
You got to blow out in his big wheel. I mean, they've really been through it. They've been to hell and back.
That's tough.
Well, we've been going through this drug treatment program together. And,
what's
got
the
about
drug?
4 months. Huh?
What's the drug?
Marijuana, LSD.
All right, it's a good time not to do something like have sex. Because that's for her. The reason she's pressuring so hard is she is starting to have feelings now that she's off drugs, and she needs an escape.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
see
it.
That'd be a good
So don't-
bumper. That'd be a good bumper sticker for you, by the way, Drew. It's a good time not to have sex.
Yeah.
I could
That's
see
true,
that in
though.
the back of your car.
They say you're supposed to wait a year.
Yeah, and absolutely, because this is an opportunity to have those feelings that you've been sort of modifying or coping with drugs.
Right.
And your body, your brain's going to start driving you to use those same thrill mechanisms to avoid those feelings. And now's the time not to do those things and let the feelings come.
All right, so everything's working out. Take it slow. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, he's right. Your instincts are right, Justin. Focus on your recovery.
Tammy,
Hello?
you're 26.
Yes.
What's up?
I was wondering how, if there's any indication if you've ever been slipped like a roofie in your drink. I went to my 10-year reunion last week. And
that's a good call.
Bring your
Hold on.
roofies with
Yeah, I
you?
got a 20-year coming up. I got a
Bring your
mental note. Get roofies.
Well,
Right.
it had
I got
been
some
back-
unfinished business.
Total Midwestern town. I haven't been there since I graduated, and these are like
Right.
country cocktails. They're the size of Super Slurpees, these drinks I had, and they're like $3. I had more probably than I usually have to drink, but...
And what happened?
Well, make a long story short, I was trying to avoid the married guy and ended up latching to old friend of mine from like years and years back, and he took me to a place where I could like go to sleep for the night, and I was totally coherent going to bed, and I remember like taking my boots off and climbing into bed fully clothed. And the next morning when I woke up to use the restroom, my pants were on backwards.
Ooh. Oh,
And
nice.
at no point in the evening, I mean, even though I had, several drinks and I was thoroughly drunk and having a good time, I did not remove my clothes at all.
Well, maybe you just blacked out from the alcohol.
No, I didn't black out. I
Pants on backwards. See, that's why I always tag them when
It's
I do my
best
roofie.
not to get thoroughly drunk, though.
Yeah.
Just in general.
What do you mean you didn't black out? You did black out.
Well, no, I don't think I blacked out because I was aware
Blackout-
of where we were going and
Yeah,
laying
but
down
then
until-
you suddenly don't remember.
No, blackout doesn't mean pass out.
Blackout means you don't remember what you did.
So that's why I was wondering. I looked up on the internet about roofies, and I was wondering,
Tammy?
is that a possible? Yes.
Blackout from alcohol is the same thing.
Well, I think you should always err on the side of rape. Just assume you're raped. But
Yeah.
you do. Hey, Tammy.
Yes.
Okay, listen. This is a ridiculous question, but we get it from time to time. Which is, I had a full night of hard drinking.
No.
I think someone drugged me.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Especially
I
as a woman, because women get crazy. They're like Indians when they get drunk. They go
No,
nuts.
I
That's why
understand what
guys
you're
try to
saying.
get them drunk.
I understand what you're saying, but I know my sexual history and my drinking patterns, and I've never, ever had sex without being aware of it.
Maybe, you know what? There's always the first time. I'll tell you that. But
yeah,
it just gets
blackouts are
worse.
blackouts.
Yeah.
And it's a progressive disease. Is there alcoholism in your family?
No.
Well, you still
let
might
me-
have just
all
accidentally
right.
blacked out. But yes, the GHB and roofies can make you black
All
out
right, let me ask
more
you
easily.
a few questions with
Okay.
this roofie. Let's just say you were slipped a roofie. Don't even I'm not a pharmacist, but if you had a roofie, does it complete? Are you gone? Are you like one of the sows that Tom murdered? The millions of sows that Tom
you're really
murdered?
pretty much out of it.
That's what I'm not sure
And
about. From the information I got on the
Someone's
internet, it just
pulling
said
your
it was
pants down and swiping them around and putting them back on again and having sex with you. You have zero recollection of it.
Yeah.
You don't know. You're just a corpse.
Right.
Drew, give me some of these roofies.
Did you talk to the guy the next day?
No, that's just it. I'm worried to call back because it's like I said, it's like an hour away. I haven't been back for 10 years. That was the first time I even made an appearance. I hate to call and say, look, did anything happen? When like I said, I know my sexual history and my drinking habits, and I've never ever had sex and not been aware of it.
Okay, but don't you think? Wouldn't you know? And I'll put this out to most women. I don't know. I'm not a woman, but if you had sex or someone had violated you, do you think you would know the next morning?
That's just it. I hadn't had sex since like for 4 months before, and I didn't feel anything any different. Like I didn't.
You don't think that happened?
Maybe you just tried your
So
pants
what
on.
do you? So you're kind of making my point then, right?
That's just it. I'm not sure. I just didn't
Well,
know
but
how
you keep saying that's just it. But what I'm saying to you is if somebody drugged you and violated you, you would know about it, right? That's just it. That's just it. You don't know. So I assume, don't you assume you didn't have sex?
Yes, I assume that I
Okay.
did. How did my pants get on backwards?
Well, you drank like a fish and you passed out in your clothes. So of course you were loaded. You went to bed in your pants.
Intentionally, though. I remember going to bed, taking my boots off and laying down.
Okay, but the point is you could have got up in the middle of the night to take a dump and not remembered it, and then pulled your pants on sideways. You know what I'm saying?
Just look at this as a time
Barney.
when you were not protecting yourself very well.
Right.
You put yourself in an unsafe situation. You didn't get raped, but
Thank
something
God.
weird happened with your pants, and now you aren't going to put yourself in that position anymore. You're going to protect yourself
But
better.
know well that GHB is tasteless, odorless.
Nice.
And you can go out with that very easily, and you can actually have seizures and die.
This is
and Rohypnol is also something that's hard to detect.
All I'm saying is if you got a choice between thinking you're walking around as someone who's been raped and someone who hasn't been raped, and it's flip a coin, I'm saying go with not raped.
Right,
Why
exactly.
not?
Right.
Why not just live that life? I remember one time after getting really loaded at a bachelor party. I got up about 5 in the morning to take a leak with the cotton mouth and the whole thing. I stood over the toilet. I flicked the line out. I was wearing nothing but my underpants. I dropped my underpants to get the Johnson out to take a leak, and a dollar bill like comically sprung out of the underpants because it got caught on the elastic, popped out and landed in the toilet. And I just stood there looking at a dollar floating in the toilet. And I thought, wow, that was a good party. You know it's a good party when you go to bed with money in your underpants. It's like out of like a frat movie.
Jerry Lewis.
All right. Drew, I'm telling you,
What?
you could give me a roofie and I would not go down. I would know what was going on.
We could give you enough. There's no doubt. Just
Let's do that next time
Let's
on
try
the
that.
show.
Little experiment.
Yeah.
Show'd be better.
And Tom wants to practice his acting. About
Exactly.
The gang raping. And all
Exactly. It wouldn't be rape then, really, if he was
Not if a
willing.
camera was rolling.
Willing.
All right, we'll be back.
LoveLine. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Tom Arnold is our guest tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I was just explaining the decade of the 70s to Tom.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Tom and Drew are, you guys about the same age, right?
I'm 77. I graduated from Ottumwa High.
I'm 76.
What was the name of your high?
Ottumwa High. That's
some
the town.
Indian
The town.
name,
Ottumwa, land of rippling waters.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't the Hams Bear get arrested there or
He
something?
did. He did.
From the
That was
land
in-
of clear blue water.
Comes a beer that's fresh from brew, hence the beer refreshment.
Hence the
I actually know
beer
the person that wrote that.
Oh, really?
A person named Peterson up in Minneapolis.
Is let me ask you something. Is there only one Indian song that hey hey is there? There must be other
There's
ones.
Kalijah.
How's that?
Kalijah was a young Indian.
I didn't have that out here.
Charlie Pride used to sing that.
Oh, he's I tell you, our audience loves that Charlie Pride. They love Charlie Rich and they love Charlie
Yeah.
Pride. There's no. Are those guys alive?
Yeah, Charlie Pride's alive. They're both alive.
Jay, 22.
Jay,
Huh?
you're 22. What's up? Who do you like better, Charlie Rich or Charlie Pride?
I don't know either of them.
Oh my God.
Wow. What's up?
Charlie Parker.
Yeah, here you go.
Well, for the past couple years, I've had a lot of suicidal thoughts. I've even about 2 times tried committing suicide, and I kind of know what where it's basically coming from. See, I've been taking medication for seizures since I was about 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And that's making you depressed?
I don't know if it's just the medication or if it's just everything else that's going around.
Like what?
Well, about almost a year ago, is I think what really made me depressed is my ex-girlfriend and my son were going up to Eureka.
Uh-oh.
And she had him in the front seat without a baby seat.
Oh, my God.
He was only 2.5 years old.
Oh.
And she was driving drunk. She was driving one of those piece of crap Suzuki Sidekicks, ones that tumble very easy.
Yeah.
And she got a little too wasted when she was driving, and she basically turned the corner too tight and went over the edge and tumbled. Well, when I heard about this, I heard that basically my son died instantly. His neck snapped.
Yeah.
She died about 2 weeks later without knowing what happened to her son.
All right. Well, so you have something to be depressed about.
I mean, that's
Definitely,
awful.
definitely.
Jay, it's awful.
And this happened how long ago?
This happened about almost a year ago, so something like that.
Are you doing drugs yourself?
Well, I used to be pretty much almost an addict.
Of what?
Of marijuana, heroin.
Are you doing drugs now?
Okay, there's no such thing as almost a heroin addict, okay?
Yeah.
So,
probably a joint every once in a while. I mean, that's like once a month or
all right.
something like
Well,
that.
listen. Are you doing drugs now?
No.
No.
I'm working right now.
All right. Well, you can work and do drugs, you know. Well,
yeah,
Tom used
and
to do it all the time.
untreated drug addicts sometimes get profoundly depressed just by itself.
All right. So what should he do?
There's multiple solutions here that he could pursue. One is he could talk to the people that are prescribing his seizure medications, make sure he gets appropriate medication management and supervision for this incredible mourning and depression he's having, which is understandable. But I think a perhaps even a more effective and certainly a less costly thing, and perhaps something that he would find less resistance to pursuing, would be getting in the fellowship, getting in the program. I mean, there would be people there he could sit and talk with and share with.
12-step meetings.
And
that would be a tremendous.
And then it would
benefit
have
to him.
things in common.
Oh,
with you,
yes.
and similar stories. And
Yeah, but because there are tons and tons of consequences.
What do you have to live for?
That's a good question. Jay, what do you have to live for?
I've been asking myself that question for past couple of years, but lately I've been asking it a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, what's the answer? Do you have family? Do you have
Yeah, I have.
friends?
I have family. I have 2 brothers, a sister, both of my parents. I have just got some news about a couple hours ago that I just have a brand new newborn baby nephew.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But
hey, but listen, Jay, let me say something. I often thought about my own life, and I really should have killed myself at least 100 times before the age of 30. Sometimes stuff doesn't come. Sometimes life takes a little while to get going. And when I was 22, I should have killed myself too. And Tom, you probably had.
Oh, definitely. I tried.
Multi opportunities to kill yourself, and no one would have blamed you.
Should have. Yeah, I
yeah.
should
People,
have.
a smart guy, best movie made.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I thought he was an a-hole until this.
Exactly.
But Jay, I'd kill myself if I thought about killing myself now. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, you will get into a place one day, and I'm not going to say it's going to be tomorrow, and it may not even be next year, but time passes quickly, and you'll look back, and you'll go, oh, thank God I didn't do it, because I'm in love with a woman, I have a son, I have a life. You really will.
You accomplish
You just
things.
got to trust me on this. It's not going to be easy, but it's a coward's way out to kill yourself, and you have to just keep moving.
And I'll tell you what, some connection with people who are unconditionally available to you would do you some tremendous amount of good.
You know, it was a good Charlie Rich song. Hey, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? And if you did, was she crying? And it was great because he'd start talking it in, and hey, and like, listen, I know I was singing before, but seriously, this bitch screwed me. I want to talk
seriously, man.
This is helping this guy?
No. I was just trying to
but you're right, though. I mean, you're right. You got to find stuff. You got to sit and every day at night and find stuff to go on.
Right.
You know, and it's tough. But then you got to remember, well, what are your parents going to feel like if you kill yourself? Who's going to take care of that? You just got to live. It sucks.
Lori,
that's true.
22.
Lori, you're 22.
Hi, I have herpes, and I've had it for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been dating a new person now for about a month, and we haven't had sex or anything. And so I'm not really sure how to bring it up. And also, I wanted to know statistically what his chances of getting it would be.
49.
It's impossible to tell. He is at risk. He might get it even if you use a condom. He would definitely get it if you were having an outbreak. But for the most part, it can be controlled. The risk can be minimized by using a condom. But guys, do you think that would stop a guy?
Here's what you say to a guy.
No.
You say, you know what? I want to be honest with you, because if you keep not having sex with him, he's going to think, what is the problem?
Yeah,
Because you guys are getting close. So listen, I've been honest with you. One time, I wasn't careful, and something happened, and then you tell him, and if he really cares about you, you know, he'll say, well, what do we do? And you say, well, be careful. You wear a condom. You really, you know, and then
you take that medication, the one where the chicks kickboxing in the commercials.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I never have any outbreaks. That's
you're
not like a problem.
You're fine.
You're probably fine.
And listen,
Or
I
just
agree
wear
with
a
Tom,
condom.
except for tell him you got it from a pommel horse in your junior high.
Okay, my other question, though,
We can't do it. We're out of time. We're out.
Sorry,
The
Laura.
satellite's going to leave us.
Good luck with the happies. We'll be back.
Hello, this is your radio. LoveLine will be right back.
All right. Well, another fabulous show in the can. I want to thank Tom Arnold for coming in here and
being one of our best guests always.
Thank
really
you,
is.
guys.
Yeah.
It's fun. It goes by quick.
Yeah, don't be a stranger.
Anytime.
It's been too long. So
Anytime.
next time you got to plug something, come on by. Animal Factory is the name of the movie. Limited release coming out this Friday. All-star cast. Don't miss it. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying clear.
Ooh, look at your hair.
Clear tint glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Pants that laced up in the front and back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Still didn't get an ounce of tail. So let that be a lesson to you. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Good night.
Well, now.
This has been LoveLine. The stuff expressed on LoveLine is not necessarily the stuff of the staff, management, sponsors, or anyone else, including Westwood One Entertainment. LoveLine is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingold. Now, please enjoy these birds.